To all my nerds, geeks, blurds, and freaks, welcome to the first, reboot of the Gadgets and Geekery Presents Geeky, Sexual, and Intellectual. I'm your host, Q, and I'm so happy you stopped by to spend time with me and my guest while I run my mouth about non-substantial but entertaining topics of the day. Well, sometimes I do go into the deep dark side of society, so if that's your thing also, welcome. Now let's get into the show. My first guest, you probably already know him from Instagram or the Tony Baker videos. I want to introduce you to comedian, actor, conspiracy theory expert, and all-around funny man, Keenan Baker. Give it a listen, and I hope you enjoy. So, first and foremost, I want to apologize because I was so excited that I was getting back to my podcast. I started my interview and did not hit the record button. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that has done this, so chill the hell out. But basically, I was started my interview with Keenan Baker. We were talking about his life as a military kid and his coping mechanisms, basically, in his life with his brother and his father, and just how he survived childhood as a military child. So let's get into it. All right.
I would have to entertain myself a lot because my brother was taught to be really mature for his age. He was pretty grown at a young age, so he wasn't like, he played with toys a little bit, but I was like the kid that was playing. But I had a huge imagination. My brother was awesome. He's like, yo, hey, you gotta do this now. Like he had like responsibilities at like 4.
Wow.
I'm just like, man, what's the responsibilities? I ain't doing none of this. So that's where I think my creativity came from. Is like I had to be creative because of just moving around a lot, and I just felt like I kept losing friends. Like we would move, and I was like, I made friends there. I had to make friends here. So I do have friends in a lot of different places, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's also easy for me to kind of like meet and be cool with people too, because I've had to my whole life.
Oh yeah, you've had to acclimate, make it happen, or it's not gonna happen. So you got to jump in here first.
Yeah. I just keep going. As I got older, I was just always a class clown. I was just always that kid that roast people, made fun of people. My core friends, that's what we did. We always clowned. Not on some bullying type stuff. We kind of kept it in our circle. Unless you came at us, then we'll give you the business also. But for the most part, we were that's just how we grew up. I grew up, even in my family. My family was clowning, so you had to have that type of gene in you. You had to be ready to unload the clip on somebody verbally, just the way we grew up.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
that's borderline abusive, but okay.
I mean, now that I'm in therapy now, and yeah, it is.
We all should be in therapy.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I feel like that was like a lot of people in the black community. That was normal, right?
Yeah.
You kind of grew up in a type of household like that, and so to me, it was normalized until I realized, like, damn, like, no, you shouldn't. Somebody shouldn't. Like, for me, I was a fairly good kid. Like, I didn't do a lot of bad stuff, so there was probably some whoopings that I didn't deserve. I didn't have to get talked to a certain way. I was pretty chill.
Oh yeah.
But nah.
Okay.
So
yeah. So I mean, that's a lot, because I don't know a lot of people that are military kids. So when I hear that, I'm just like, what? I try to put myself in people's shoes. Like, how could you do that? Like, that seems like a heartbreak every time you have to move and start again.
Oh, it was, and we've complained about it. We used to be like, "Yo, why we gotta move?" And the only saving grace was that we didn't have to move across the country a lot. Like I had friends that were in the military, and they had to move like from like LA to South Carolina to Hawaii. Like, that's jumping from whole different places.
Yeah.
Luckily, a lot of our moving was in California still. I think we were in like New York for a second because that's where both my parents are from.
Mm-hmm.
And then we ended up pretty much staying in California. But we did a lot of our living like in Tustin, which is like kind of like Orange County-ish.
Okay.
And then kind of like up and down there a lot until we like kind of like settled like more in the valley of like Southern California, like the San Fernando Valley.
Okay. So I know you have like a retelling that you like to put out there about your father making you fight, and you couldn't come home until you won the fight, whatever fight you got in. So, and I'm thinking California around those time periods, you had a lot of fights. I can predict.
You know what's funny? Like, so I'll be honest with you. I had a few fights here and there, but my dad raised my brother and I like I guess how you would raise an older sibling and a younger sibling, right? Mm-hmm. My only time I would get to fight a lot of times if I was fighting by myself. But if my older brother was anywhere in the vicinity, if he didn't jump into the fight and take the first punch, like my dad was on his ass.
Wow.
So my dad raised. That's why I'm saying my older brother was very responsible at a young age, because if somebody was in my face like, "Shut up, Keenan, that's why you blah 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 blah," my brother was already coming through with a left hook because he's a lefty. Pow! He was knocking cats out.
Okay.
So my brother was. I'm not going to sit here and act like I was this huge fighter. Like I can. My dad raised me to be, but I was like second line of defense, even in my own fights.
So would that create any like resentment between you and your brother? Like, God damn it, you out here running your mouth again. Now I got to catch this heat.
Not really. Like I felt like at a certain time my brother liked fighting. I don't know. Like it's like my brother's he's a very complex person, and that's why I think I look up to him too, and I love him because he's an engineer too. He's a super smart dude. I call him like a nerd bully.
Yeah.
Like he can whoop your ass and tutor you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that there's not many people out there like that. He's probably like one of like 20. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're either a super nerd and you don't fight or whatever the case may be. So actually we're super super tight. Me and my brother are super tight. I didn't really get into a lot of fights over my mouth because even when I was roasting you, for some reason, you still liked me.
Yeah.
I don't know what my charisma was, but that was the truth. Like if I was ripping you to shreds, I wasn't doing it in a harsh way to where I was like, yeah, and your mother's a bitch. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't jokes like that. It was like, all right, this is kind of funny, man. This dude's kind of funny here. Yeah. So you kind of like took it and enjoyed it.
Yeah, because as you know, it's all in the delivery. Like if you mean mugging somebody and saying those words versus you smiling and saying those words, it hits them different.
Yeah, my brother is that way. My brother is that way where he says things to try to hurt you. So that's why I'm prepared for that type of stuff. My brother's like type of person like, yeah, that's why your mother didn't graduate high school. And that's why you're in jail. That's why you're gonna go to jail soon, you stupid fucking idiot. Like that's how my brother roasts you. And you like,
he hit you with the light.
Sorry, yeah. So, can I curse? I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's all good.
All right. But yeah, that's how he'll roast you. You like, geez, man, you trying to hit my soul here.
Exactly. Like I'd rather take a slap than that.
Yeah, shit.
Oh man. Okay, so speaking of your childhood, did any of your childhood interests influence who you are and what you like now?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up loving comedy, right? Mm-hmm. And I just grew up. Like, I used to like mimic a lot of stuff, like mimic commercials and be able to like animate stuff and make things my own. Mm-hmm. And that kind of went into my comedy. True story, when I was in the 10th grade, I had this teacher, I'll keep her nameless, but I had this English teacher, and she was a black lady, and a buddy of mine, we were like the class clowns. So anytime she would move us, like we would still be clowning. Like it was best to keep us close together in class, because if you moved us across the room, now we're just going to tell jokes far across the room. So we would do that, and she would kick me out of class all the time, like damn near at least 2-3 times a week. She would kick me out of class, send me somewhere out of class or something like that. And she finally pulled me and my friend out of class, and she was like, you know, like, as black men, like, we don't always have to be making people laugh. Like, you need to have something bigger for yourself. I was 17 years old when I went to UCLA.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just like, because you had a late birthday, my nigga? Like, I went to college. I eventually, when I went to college, I went to college at 17 also because I have a late birthday.
Okay.
But it's not like, so she was telling me pretty much like, she was like, black people don't have to be Eddie Murphy all the time. And you don't have to do all this entertainment stuff. And I remember saying like something so silly. I was like, well, I don't want to be a comedian. I want to be a businessman, you know. And my boy was like, entrepreneur, you mean? And I was like, yeah. And for years, that's why I didn't do stand-up too. Like, I had a buddy that was doing stand-up, and I pushed it off because of that mindset. Because what she said to me, that bothered me. That really affected me for a long time. I would have probably got into stand-up at like 21 instead of 24.
Yeah.
You know? And that had a big influence on me.
Yeah, well, I'm glad, it didn't stick too tough because you out here doing your damn thing.
Oh yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to be doing it too.
Yeah. So about your profession, we know you out here known for doing, comedy in these streets. But I started to do some research, and you got a lot of accolades behind your name.
Oh, whoa! You sure that's the right thing? Let's
it's some good stuff because you put out a lot of content. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And I wanted to know, how do you keep it fresh? Like, how do you always come up with these ideas? Because like we talked about the conspiracy theories you do. You had the awkward roommate moments, the lip biting challenge, Bernard Push-Up Williamson. Like, the list goes on and on and on. So I'm just like, how does he come up with this crazy shit?
You know what's funny? Like, a lot of those things are either an extension of me or an extension of the people around me or my community. So, like, Bernard Push-Up Williamson was, like, kind of like a little bit of my dad, right?
Okay.
It's the Marine, because that's where, I say, ex-military, blah, 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 blah. But there was a time when my dad, like, he wanted to stop whooping us, right? He was like, all right, I'm going to try to stop whooping you guys. So to discipline you, I'm going to make y'all do push-ups.
Okay.
So that's where that came from. So me, I took a liking in the push-ups. Like, that wasn't a punishment for me anymore. When he was like, all right, you didn't do this, do 50 push-ups. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll just knock out 50. The conspiracy theories is like the cats that shoot it, that shot it for me at Transit Picture Studios. Uh-huh. And that's Brennan's company. Brennan, does the podcast with me.
Yeah.
Or him and Rob. I was kicking it with them for a minute. And one of the co-owners, his girlfriend, her and I, like, we would talk a lot about just conspiracies. Mm-hmm. And then we were just like, it would be funny if we did a show about this. And I was just like, let's do it. And it's like, so a lot of stuff comes from, like, somewhat truthful places. So it's like, I have a lot of characters that I could do, because I kind of grew up character-based first. I kind of grew up doing comedy rap first. Mm-hmm. Like, if you go to MySpace, I don't know if you can see it still, but if you go on MySpace, we have like a little mixtape on it's called Loser Comedy, LUSER Comedy.
Okay.
And we have like songs up still.
Oh, MySpace. Yeah, you should transition that. Yeah, put that over on YouTube. I can get that on the YouTube.
You said what?
I said you should transition that over to YouTube.
I gotta see because when I went on there last time, the videos, the music wasn't playing, but if I can rip it off there, I will.
Yeah,
and put it on there for sure.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm just like, it's always something. Like, every time I pop up, you're doing something, and it's quality something. Some people just put out, a lot of content, but it ain't always quality, so they need to slow down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but so really, 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 what I'm super interested in is your podcast. So I religiously listen to Animation. That is my shit. I listen to that morning, during work, after work, and y'all be killing me. So how did y'all get that going?
Well, that was the same thing. It was those same guys. I kick it out there. They have a studio, so I'll just go to their studio and hang out there a lot. And I used to just talk Dragon Ball Z all the time. Like, Brennan and I, we would go back and forth with just about anime a lot, but they would just hear me talk about like Dragon Ball and different other anime, and then same thing. He was just like, they're looking to start up some podcasts, so they were like, "Hey, do you want to do like a kind of like an anime podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." So that's how it started. Brennan was just like, I immediately was like, I want Brennan on the podcast, and because I know we would have opposing views, but it'll be good and it'll be funny. And then he was like, well, he wants to bring Rob on. So the podcast is me, Rob, and Brennan essentially, and then I think Brennan couldn't do it one time, and then Ice filled in, and then Ice. Like he's stuck in there, yeah.
Yeah, Ice. He's the shit starter of the show.
Yeah, I guess if you want to call it that, but it's like if we have guests, a lot of times, the guests will probably fill in most likely on Ice's part.
Yeah.
Because that and I'm not going to sit here and I'll be 100% honest. Like, yeah, the core of it was us. You know what I'm saying? So, we built that from the ground up, and I'm proud of that. I wanted to, when we started to do the podcast, I wanted to build this podcast and make it authentic. I didn't want to be like, because I was a kid in high school that and it's not to be braggadocious or anything, but like I played sports, I got girls. But I just love anime also.
Yeah.
Some people always feel like, well, you got to be this super, super nerd or geek or whatever like that. And that's the only way you can like this type of stuff. Like, I knew a whole bunch of cats that were like, quote unquote, cool kids that was like, cause especially for something like Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball was the main break, especially when I was growing up, when I was younger, that it didn't matter, that it broke nerd barriers. It wasn't about being a nerd. It's about being like, this shit is just dope.
Yeah. And I catch a lot of people saying they find that they feel like they're fake nerds because it's not all encompassing in their lives. But I'm like, this is just you doing you. You just happen to like this thing. That's just liking something.
Yeah, exactly. Like anime is not exclusive to nerds. Some of them might want to keep it that way because I feel like they're like, this is our kind of community, but it's like, nah, bro, we in here.
Yeah, and that's why I say I really truly believe it's more so than not in a lot of black people's history. If they look back, because I remember, I'm telling my age, but I remember like in 96, 95, 96, that's when I started watching anime. And I had a boyfriend that put me onto it. I was like, where has this shit been all my life? And I think I caught a episode of Sailor Moon. I was like, oh, that shit was pretty cool. And then they hit me with all the other shit, the Dragon Ball Z's and the Vampire Hunter D's and all that stuff. And I just been hooked ever since.
Yeah, and that's what happened. It was like I had this, like when Dragon Ball Z was first hitting the scene, a lot of the kids weren't hip to it yet because it was on like out here it was called on a channel called KCal9.
Okay.
It wasn't on Cartoon Network yet.
Yeah.
It took years to get on Cartoon Network, but I had these cats that lived across the street from me, Sean and Ken, and they were brothers, and I think they were half Filipino, half white, but they got a lot of stuff from like Japan. Like they had like a lot of the sub stuff from Japan. They would just let me borrow DVDs, and they had like this this is back in the day, this is years ago, but they knew about this torrent site called Merrick or something like that.
Okay.
And they would just like help us like download like video clips of like Dragon Ball Z. So I've been knew about like before Trunks ever hit the scene. That's why I became a Trunks fan, because I would see all these badass moments.
Yeah.
Before he was even on the scene in the English version.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was just like, once I saw like they was hipping me to the Japanese version of things, I was like, my mind was blown. I was like, yo, this is like, fuck Ninja Turtles, bro. This is a different ball game right here.
Exactly. You niggas is on fucking X-Men. I'm on this other shit. That American shit. Y'all can keep it.
Yeah, and I love X-Men, but this shit blew my mind the way it was animated. It was just done differently.
Yeah. And it was like, they pull the punches on American kid cartoons. It was like no blood, guts, ass, everything in these animes.
Exactly. And when I was watching the anime, these were unedited versions. So yeah, I'm seeing blood. I'm like, yo, this is insane.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know how to explain it, but I try to explain it to other adults, and they just like, nah, that's just cartoons. I'm like, it's animated. That's the amount of the parallels that makes it a cartoon. But I'm like, the stories, the plots, the characters, the backgrounds, the themes, all of this is adult content.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm glad I stumbled across it, because it changed me forever. And it's funny when you try to explain it to people. Like, I forgot who said this too. I think Brady might have brought it up at one point, or Mathunzi when he was on a podcast. Mm-hmm. But it's like when you try to explain anime to people, they always think it's that hentai porn stuff. Yeah. It's like, I'm like, bro, man. I was like, I'm uncomfortable with seeing busty cartoon teenagers, bro. I don't like seeing that shit either. So I don't watch a lot of those animes, or when that stuff pops on screen, I kind of just like go on my phone, and then when it gets back to the action, And I don't knock anybody for that. Yeah. I know it's a whole genre and people rock with it, but it's just like, for me, I just I can't get into the hentai, man. I can't.
Well, I think you know where I stand on that.
Yes, I've seen you some things.
I can't help myself, and you know what? This is what I'm gonna say about that. I feel more at ease watching hentai than I do with porn, because the whole time I'm looking at porn, I'm thinking about the actual person in the scene. Like, what's their real life like? Is she doing this because she want to? What's going on in her life that she got to this point? I don't have to worry about that with what is it? Hinome or somebody else. It's a cartoon.
What's funny? What you said makes sense. Like you saying that, I get that. Right, because we always assume when it comes to porn too that these women probably have some type of issue, maybe daddy issues. Something might have happened. They might have been touched growing up, and this might not be it. It'd be a whole different thing.
Yeah, and I know that's not always the case, but that's where my mind goes. I'm like, I don't want to support this.
But I wanted to ask you. I wanted to see. I know this is you interviewing me, but it's a quick question, because we want to have a podcast about this, but we're trying to find. We wanted to have a black woman in the studio talk about this with us, but about sexism in anime. Like, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like does that keep you interested still? Does that, when you watch some of the stuff, does it turn you off? Like, these niggas again always grabbing butts, and like, does that bother you at all?
It doesn't bother me. There's certain levels that bother me. But when you see the dude that has the nosebleeds because he saw some boobs or something, I'm just like, this is basically, they're illustrating the life of a teenage boy. I know y'all don't catch nosebleeds, but it's just like, oh, I just want to grab that, or I just want to touch that, I just want to smell that. I'm like, that's just dudes in general. But when it's like that near rape shit, that kind of bothers me.
Yeah. Goblin Slayer was.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. When I was so hyped when they came out, and I was like, in the first 5 minutes, it was a mini goblin rape. I was like, whoa, this is deep. And I'm glad it slowed down after that, because I couldn't take too much more of that.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, I know you thought it was tough. Like, you probably went to therapy on that.
Yeah.
It's like, I was doing good, and they showed this rape. Yeah.
Yo. But no, I'm glad to hear your perspective on that, where you kind of just like, okay, it's just like, I get this, because that's, I mean, you say that's kind of how it was in high school, middle school for us. It's like, once women started to develop, you were like, whoa, like breast, like you like your hormones are going nuts.
Yeah.
Like, no pun intended. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why I say I don't understand why people, there's like, oh, it's just for the male gaze, and like, it's too deep. I'm like, okay, we all know women are beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not a gay statement. But I'm like, as animals, creatures of sex, that's just life. But it's just, the actual, in real life porn is what get me. I'm just like, it's always that actual factual probably story that's in the background, like, oh, this girl in this video just got kicked out of her apartment, and these dudes, ran up on her and was like, oh, we can make you some quick cash if you just show your ass. And I'm like, I'm out the moment.
Yeah. Just like, oh, damn. And then in a lot of cases, the majority of the girls don't make much money. The guys don't make shit, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I've watched documentaries about it. I'm like, so how is this staying afloat? I know it's $1 billion industry, but the people to get you to the point of making your billions, they're not getting paid nothing. They're getting scraps.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, nowadays you just got like luckily they got these OnlyFans type
Yeah.
things, whatever, so they can make their own money, which is like, which is more, and it's safer too, which is like I'm happy about. So if they're going to do something sexually, they can get the guy themselves that they probably trust and know, and shoot like as many videos and cut them up into clips for people.
Yeah.
And sell them. So it's a better deal.
It's crazy out here, but yes, I choose hentai.
Yeah.
Because every time I hear y'all bring that up on the podcast, I'm like, these niggas don't know what they missing.
But I can't, like, when we talked about, I can't watch an octopus fuck a girl. I can't, I can't watch that.
That's my favorite kind.
See, I'd be laughing the whole time. I wouldn't be able to enjoy that. I wouldn't be able to, like, I can't masturbate to that. I like, that's the point of this. So
Yeah.
I'm supposed to, like, hey, so Keenan, you watching porn? You be masturbating to an octopus, nigga? Like, nah.
Oh man. Okay, well, I'll let you go on that one. I was like, oh, we ain't gonna be able to vibe on that one because Keenan don't do that. Yeah, man. But I want to get back to your content. So what is the process? What is your creative process whether it's either your stand up or your video content?
Right now I've been like focused a lot on the social media logics, right? And that's pretty much where I find like some type of inspirational, some type of weird quote or some type of social media thing that somebody said on social media, and I either break it down or say what I feel about it and what I think it really means. I wanted to find something that, like, cause I used to always see that stuff and be like, what the fuck are they talking about? This is so stupid. And I would talk to myself about it, but I was just like, all right, let me just cut the camera on and speak.
Yeah, so for like the listeners that don't know, you have that social media logic that you do.
Yeah, it's called social media logic, and it's pretty much I break down like whether it's a tweet, a quote, or a Facebook post that somebody put up that's ridiculous. Like I think the recent one was if a dude like finishes inside of you, that means he trusts you.
Or you can say bust a nut. Bust a nut.
When a dude nuts inside you, that means he trusts you. And it's like, no, that doesn't. Like,
no.
And a woman said that, and I'm just like, all right, so this has to be a teaching moment because no dude, that's not how we think.
No.
Not at all. And so, I break that down or whatever like that.
That shit is indiscriminate. Just out here nutting on everybody and everything. It's indiscriminate.
And everything. It's like if a dude, like I said, I was like, if a dude is jacking up on his couch and he forgot to bring a towel or something, and there's a cup right there, you're going to probably bust off in the cup and wash that out. And then when you come to the crib, hey, you want something to drink? That's the same cup.
Like, nigga, this cup is cloudy. Oh, man.
So a lot of my stuff comes from just like, stuff that's loosely on my mind. When it comes to my stand-up, a lot of my stand-up comes from my real life experience. Like something that's either happened to me or happened to like a friend of mine that that I grew up with, and they'll tell me a story. I'm like, yo, that's funny, so I talk about it. And then content-wise, I just try to stay consistent because, like a buddy of mine, Tony Baker, he was like on me tough about being consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was like, bro, like you always like start something and you don't finish it. Like you'll start the Bernard push-ups, but then you'll stop.
Yeah.
You'll start the Marine dude, then you'll stop. And then he was like, you need to not stop. So he used to call me on my bullshit.
Yeah. And
I appreciated that. He didn't have to. That showed me that he cared.
Yes.
That showed me that he wanted to see me be successful, and he appreciates the content that I put out. And once I realized that consistency is manifestation, like that's something my therapist taught me. He's like, consistency is manifestation. Once you're consistent, things will start to manifest for you.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just a fact. It's like it might not happen exactly when you want to, but it's going to happen.
Oh, nigga, you speaking to my soul.
So, that's like a lot. My content comes from like stuff like that. It's just like, all right, it's just things that I like or things that I find interesting, because I can't fake it. I can't be fake. Like I can't do something now like I don't really enjoy.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that'll help some other people. I know that helps me, because when you say that, I've been going through the same thing. You know, I have my Gadgets and Geekery Instagram, and then I'm like, oh, okay, my followers doing really good, and then that shit will start to dwindle off, and I'm like, well, maybe people don't like me. I'm not gonna do this anymore. And the same thing happened with this podcast, because you the first interview, Keenan, since 2016. So yeah, thank you for that.
Oh shoot! All right, let's get it cracking.
Yeah, so I'm back in it. I was like, I enjoyed it. I was doing it by myself, and I just got overwhelmed because my background is in broadcasting. So I was like, I'll do that, but I was doing digital sales for the radio station, and that's overwhelming. And I was like, I just don't have time for this shit. I love it, but I ain't got time for it. So I'm back on it.
But just to like, not to be like this, extra inspirational person, but it's like that's how it has to be. It's like that's why I wanted to find a lot of things I could shoot by myself, because one, you can't always depend on people, but two, you have to find out what you love to do.
Exactly.
Like a lot of comedians are always like, man, I don't know what online content to do. I don't want to do this type of video. I was like, then don't do that type of video, bro. Like, find something that you love to do, because you're going to have to do it every single day, most likely, to be consistent. So find something that you love and enjoy doing. And whether it's the podcast, like I love doing the anime podcast. That's why you see like, only time I missed an episode was when I literally had like an emergency or some shit like that. But I don't miss the episode. Like I'll be like, no, we're gonna just push it back a day so I can get there on time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and for me, since the podcast, since Brendan would tell you he'll consider it like my podcast, like Keenan's podcast, really, even though like it's funny because Rob does probably the bulk of the talking, but like they consider it like as me as his mind, right?
Yeah.
So they, those guys are really good at being like, all right, cool, we'll push it back for you if we need to, or we'll miss a day so you can make it.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate the hell out of those dudes for, because they show mad love. But it's because I love that podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I love that one. My other one, What's the Hook?
Oh yeah.
It's the same thing with stuff like that. When you love something, you're going to find a way to get shit done. So find what you love and do that.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's easy to say, but you got, like you said, you got to put in the work and make it happen.
Discipline, man. I didn't have it.
Yeah.
I didn't have it. It's Tony and my lady. My lady lit a fire on my ass too. You need to be disciplined.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. Because if you don't have people in your corner, it will fall to the wayside. If you some people like, I don't need nobody, but I'm like, sometimes you need a cheering squad, and it just helps you.
A cheering squad definitely helps. I that I had to, even though I grew up in a military background with discipline, it was so much that I rebelled against it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So how some people, it's either one way or the other. Either you become super disciplined by that particular raising, or you become the opposite of that because it was too much on you, so you rebel against it.
Exactly.
I kind of rebelled against it, and it hurt me. So I had to like relearn and read books and different things like that on how to do that type of stuff, and to realize how much that stuff can help you out.
Mm-hmm. So, let me ask you about, because it seems like you got a good head on your shoulders. You know what your plan, your goal is. But tell me about a time when you just wanted to give up, and you was just like, this comedy, this, Instagram, social media, this might not be for me. I may have to change my path. Like, how did you get over that?
Well, I'll say this. For comedians, anytime you bomb, you question yourself.
Uh-huh.
When you bomb on stage, you're like, am I right for this shit?
Because these niggas ate my lunch out there. Like,
yeah, exactly. It killed me. But I will tell you this. In all honesty, once I started doing stand-up, I always felt like I'm going to be doing stand-up. But now I ain't gonna lie to you, I had the fear of possibly not making it as big as I wanted to be.
Okay. Because
I worked a day job. I worked at a hardware store for over like 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, I'm going to be stuck here. Like, this might be it for me. And I just had to I had to get over. I had to get over. Let me tell you something. This is so funny and not funny at the same time, right? So I was just going through it one day. Like I was just like, man, am I gonna make it in this shit? You know, I feel like the people that are close to me don't believe in me. You know, my boss is telling me like, yo, yeah, comedy, yeah, your little hobby. Make sure you work your little hobby on your off time, but don't work is work. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to walk around my job, kind of like writing like little notes in my phone and stuff like that. So I was going through it, and I remember I was on World Star. I was on World Star one day, and they had this video of like a Vegeta or something like that, like an inspirational video of Vegeta, like why he can't push past Kakarot.
Okay.
And I was watching that video, and I fucking broke down crying.
Wow.
I don't know why. Dog. It's so funny. Like, I told my boy this, and he was dying laughing, right?
Oh.
But, like, I was watching the video, and something happened to where it was just like, what happened was, is like, I realized I was comparing myself all the time to somebody, to just different people, which is what Vegeta does. He keeps comparing himself to Kakarot all the time, and Goku, and being like, why can't I do this? Why can't I get here? It's like, don't compare yourself. You are you.
Exactly.
But the fact that happened in an anime video, like, it was so funny. And I remember, like, laughing afterwards. I'm crying over a goddamn Dragon Ball Z video. But it was like some kind of compilation that somebody put together. But it was like the music they had. The music was, like, stellar. It was, like, crazy. And that at that point in time, that kind of helped me. I was like, all right, I got to stop comparing myself. And don't get me wrong, I still have moments in my life where I did after that. But that was the first step in being like, okay, try to check yourself when you're doing that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that will help me get over the hump. And then once you realize, and then too, like once like when sometimes Tony will post a video of mine, right? Like he posted like a social media logic of mine not too long ago, and it got like 170,000 views, right?
Wow.
And I was like, okay, it's not me. It's not the content. It's the reach. I don't have the reach yet.
Exactly. I'm always trying to break that down to people.
That's all it is. It's like the fact that he posts, and I didn't ask him to post it. Tony's the type of person, like, he's not gonna post what you tell him to post.
Yeah.
He sees something, he's like, I like that. I'm posting this, and he'll be like, give me that video, Keenan. I want to post that.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So he hit me, and he did that. And he did that to me a few times. And a lot of times he posts videos on my page. Every video has hit over 100,000. So that's what tells me it's like, it's not me. It's literally my reach.
Yeah.
Once I hit my reach, I'm going to be doing 100,000 minimum each video. So that's what kept me motivated too. It was like, okay, that's all it is.
Yeah, because I'm a product of your example. That's how I found you, through Tony.
Right. So exactly. And that's how a lot of people, they'll hit me and be like, yo, he posted the anime thing, or he posted conspiracy theories or something like that, and that's how we found you. And it's like, okay, it's not that I'm not funny. It's not that what I'm talking about is not interesting. It's literally the people just have to
be exposed.
Be exposed to you. That's it. So you have to be patient till that exposure comes.
Oh yeah. And like, I think we have a collective group that I'm a part of on Instagram, because we realized it's the reach thing. Like, what is going on? Because it was one time I was fired, and I got up to like 52,000, and then it dropped. A girl helped me do that. She was like, what was it, a Geeky Girl Squad or something like that, and she reposted one of my pictures and told everybody to start following me. And I woke up one morning and the numbers was just, you gotta follow. I was like, this is crazy. So it's like, it's a group of black geeks basically. So we repost our content through each other's profiles, and it helps. You just need a support group that's in the same line as you, basically.
Yeah, very, very true. Especially like in a black geek group or a black anime group. If y'all have a group of people that are like, because somebody might pop before the other, but it's like if that person can post y'all and they trust your content. Sometimes people are like, let's start this group. They were like, I don't really mess with your content like that. That you have to be cool with that. You can't be upset with that person either. They might not. I understand that my comedy is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I won't get mad at somebody being like, nah, bro, I don't want to repost your stuff. It's fine. It's like my stuff is not for everyone.
Yeah.
But when you find that circle that's like, okay, a lot of times when that one person reposts you, that right person, it's a wrap.
Yeah. Man, it's that damn social media demon. It'll get you though. It'll have you thinking and questioning.
And that's the thing with social media. It's like you have to realize that, all right, it's social media doesn't really say what you're really worth.
Yeah, it's not
right.
qualified.
I understand that we feel that way because you can get paid off it, and likes and comments and stuff feel good. They do. You know, I think they did a study, and that shit like lets off certain type of endorphins and make you feel like it's like almost like sex to a certain point.
Exactly.
But you have to realize that in real life, in reality too, that you're still worth something. You know, at the end of the day, I still have to go on as a comedian. When I go on the road with Tony a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I go on the road, when I walk on stage, every time I get off stage and they come up to me afterwards, they like, as soon as you walk on stage, like, oh man, he brought his little brother on stage, man. He funny on a video, man, but he ain't gonna be funny in person.
Nah.
Like, they don't realize that I'm a stand-up comedian first, that I've been doing stand-up for over 10 years.
Yeah, because they got it backwards, you know, with social media. It's usually you go Insta famous, and then you say, oh, okay, people think I'm funny, then I'm going to be a comedian. I'm like, no, I'm a comedian.
You have to let people know, like, I'm a stand-up comic first. Like, I'm getting hip to the social media stuff now.
Yeah.
But I'm a stand-up comedian first. But it's like, you know, so I know my worth in real life that, you know, that's what keeps people. Because, like, when they come out to see you for these shows now, you gotta hold them.
Oh, yeah. Not for 15 seconds. No, a minute.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Okay, so speaking of your stand-up, can you break down your I Might Need Therapy album? We were talking about therapy. So how did you come about writing that and recording that? And because I found it on Spotify. I was like, oh, okay, Keenan Baker, I see you. Yeah, this shit is hilarious.
So I was just thinking of so back, like, honestly, a lot of stuff goes back with Brennan and Transit Pictures. So like they were filming Tony Baker's Scaredy Cat special.
Okay.
And I was featured. I was gonna be the feature, like the opening act for it. So they was like, well, you know, we'll record yours too, but you know, we're not gonna put it out on any platform. We're not gonna be, you know, trying to like sell it for you, but like we'll record it for you and all that stuff like that. So I was like, what do I want to do with this? And I had a few different ideas, right? And I was just like, I want to do like a little thing about like therapy, because some of my stuff goes to like the insecurities that I have, like losing my hair, my zodiac sign, you know, just, you know, dating certain type of women and stuff like that, right? And then I just came up with this concept of I might need therapy, and I was like, yo, you know, it'd be even doper if I have these therapy sessions in between.
That was dope.
And I was just like, yo, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I kind of felt myself on that. You know how like, sometimes you have to. I'm not that type of person. I'm normally a very humble person, but I was like, nah, nigga, this is dope. Yeah,
you like, know, when you hit a concept that you haven't, it's rare or you've never heard of it. I've never heard of that, like transitions, like that.
Yeah, exactly. I never heard of that, especially in the comedy sense, right?
Yeah.
And I looked at like comedy albums, like Chris Rock's album and Eddie Griffin's albums, and I was like, they always had skits in there, but it was never like, I wanted to make this seem like this is the actual session that I'm going through, and it's going to cut back and forth between my set and then going back and things getting worse.
Yeah.
Like, and that's when I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like, first going in there like, I don't need this shit. Second going in there like, all right, I might need this. Third part is like, okay, we're in this session now, like having this discussion. I forgot all about even being here.
Yeah.
And then fourth, like, okay, I really need help.
Yeah, because that's typically the process of therapy. Like, I'm just here. Because I went to therapy and I was like, okay, there's something going on, but I know myself. I don't think you're going to be able to tell me about myself. I know myself. And shit, by week 3, I'm in a ball.
Yeah. And I didn't go to therapy until like a year and a half, maybe like 2 years. Actually, 2016. Really, till like 3 years later, right? And I remember just being like, yo, like, the fact that I'm actually in it now is crazy.
Yeah.
But I I feel like, because material wise, that material is old. So when I listen back to it now, I kind of cringe. I'm like, man, I'm so much better than this now. And the material is I think it was good for what it was then. But I still think the concept is still a classic concept.
Oh,
like
yeah.
It's still like, I was just like, yo, I don't care what anybody says. Like the way I broke it down is still dope.
Yeah, and I like that you put a comical twist on it. But that's a severe problem in the black community. Like, I want to say 80% of us need therapy.
Shit, maybe more than that.
Probably more than that. But I'm like, I like that you put the the spin on it, the humor on it, because they're like, haha, nigga, we is trash out here, or we is crumbling on the inside. We can laugh about it now, but go get your ass some therapy.
yeah, because I mean, you know how it is in the black community. Like, it's like when we pretty much tell you stop being a bitch.
Pretty much, stop crying. This is just life.
Stop crying, bro. That's just because you got to be tough in this particular world, because they ain't gonna be easy on you. So you gotta just take that shit.
Yeah, but that's the outside world, but we don't filter it like that. It's everywhere. So we tough and hard in our family life and our love life, raising our kids to the world. Like, the guard is always up. We don't know, take the arm off when you come in the house. Like,
exactly.
Yeah. It's crazy. So I may have to push that out there. Hey, listen to Keenan's album, but nigga, go get you some therapy for real though.
if you can afford it, get it, man. Like, there's I think a lot of places might have a way where you can, like, whatever, like, if you got, like, I don't know, if y'all have like the cheap healthcare and everywhere y'all at, right? They'll let you go through and get therapy through that, and it might even pay for everything.
Oh yeah, I found services for a lot of people, and I'm like, well, I can't afford that. Like you said, I'm like, that's an excuse because I know you haven't did your research. It's systems out here. You don't even have to pay to go. It depends on your income.
Exactly. And when I found that out, I was like, okay, I'm getting this free therapy there.
Yeah, let me tell y'all all my fucking problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now that you're getting yourself back on the road to mental health, what are some of the big projects you're working on right now?
So right now, I want to, we're trying to get conspiracy theories back rolling.
Okay.
So that's big. Everything else is just like, I'm out here auditioning and auditioning for shows, commercials all the time. And then I just want to start to just keep shooting my own content, because I realize that content is king right now. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times when you shoot your own stuff, that's when people come to you.
Yeah.
I know I had this show with Ice called Bonfire Stories.
Yes.
That's like our baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a dope storytelling comedy show, and it's and we see the potential in that being huge.
How long have you been doing that?
Say that again.
How long have y'all been doing that?
It'll be coming up on a year in like May, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it's such a different type of concept with crowd interaction, because the audience gets to ask you questions after your story, and we make sure we have quality comedians on there, and we see it as like a TV show. We see it, we take it on the road. We see it huge, and we feel like that as black producers and black comedians, we need something like that, because I ain't gonna lie to you, a lot of these white guys, they get those opportunities like easily. They have all these type of shows, and we want to create a platform for. And our show's not just only black people. We all have different type of comedians on there, but we are going to be the black producers of it, and the black showrunners of it, and the black hosts of it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So it's ours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'll be great, because I follow that. I had started listening to podcasts probably about a year or two ago, and I started listening to this show called Risk. So that's basically storytelling, and people, they connect with that. So if you have a majority black people telling black stories, your audience is majority black. They're gonna cling to that.
Yeah, and what I found out too is that majority, like, storytelling is one of the purest, if not the purest, like, art form of just comedy, and just in life in general. Like, storytelling is, people connect with that more than anything. Mm-hmm. because it's like there's some type of, even if it's not fully truthful, there might be some type of truth to it, to where somebody can connect to it. Like my uncle's like that, my aunt, or I'm like that, or like I know somebody that kind of has that. Like they can connect to your story some type of way, and it's just different than somebody just telling a one-liner. You know, a one-liner I feel like is like, no disrespect to one-liner comedians, but it's kind of like fast food. You know what I'm saying? Or like not fast food. It's kind of like microwave food. Really, it's like you eat that just to get by.
Yeah.
But like storytelling is food for the soul.
Oh yeah, and you kind of you categorize it, and you what am I trying to say? You tuck it away. But you can recall the story better sometimes than you can a joke, like you said, a one-liner.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, you have some of those one-liners are like great for work, like water coolers, like water cooler talk, like hey, what's so and so da da da, and be like, oh, that's funny. You know, you might take that to school or something like that.
Yeah.
But when you tell a deep story, like, hey man, did you hear about this? It's like just different type of connection.
Yeah. Well, we talked about your career. Now I want to talk to you about your geekdom. Like what level? You ain't got to be a super geek, but I want to know where you stand as a geek. So, what was your gateway drug other than Dragon Ball Z? What was your gateway drug to anime?
Another one called Ronin Warriors.
Yeah.
It was I just happened to, it was the same thing. I just happened to catch that one day. It was coming on like at 6 a.m. Every day before school, and so my brother and I will be in there watching it. And then I think right after that, Sailor Moon would come on, and I ain't gonna lie to me. I couldn't stand Sailor Moon, but I kind of got it a little bit. And then I guess Power Rangers too. I was not just anime, like I was a huge Power Rangers fan growing up, and that's really what started it. Was those type of things. And then once anime hit to like Toonami and stuff like that, that's when everything changed. But the start of it was pretty much was really Ronin Warriors and Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay, because when I write you guys on your Instagram DM chat group, and y'all talking about all the new shows, I'm like, what about the old shows? Because I try to figure out if you've ever watched any of that stuff from like the 90s and the 2000s. Like I was saying, like Fist of the North Star and not Dragon Ball, but Vampire Hunter D and stuff like that. Like, did you ever catch any of that stuff?
Vampire Hunter D, no. I think Tony said that's one of the ones he kind of watched. But I did watch Fist of the North Star. But that's one of those animes too. Like I have to catch it again because when I watched it, I was so young.
Yeah.
And then it's just like I didn't get a chance to rewatch it. It's like the first time I watched Akira was like 2002, mm-hmm. I think. Mm-hmm. A buddy of mine that I work with was like, "This is the greatest anime ever," and he brought it to me. When I first watched it, my mind was blown. Yeah. So I was like, "This came out then and was looking like this."
Yeah. And that's that hand drawn shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, and that's what. Because sometimes when you watch, like, I have to understand, like, because like for instance, like Evangelion, right? We watched that.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch that back in the day.
I didn't either.
So when I watched it now, I had to be like, okay, I have to watch this from a lens of back in the day because it's not holding up that well right now. Mm-hmm. Even when I'm watching Cowboy Bebop, like Cowboy Bebop gave me classic vibes, but it was just like I probably would have enjoyed this more as a kid because how it was drawn and the concept and stuff like that, being in space and stuff like that. But when I've consumed so much different, like higher quality anime and faster paced anime, mm-hmm. that I'm just like, all right, man, like I need more.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm not too much on. I like a lot of the new stuff that's come out, but I'll go back and rewatch the old stuff because it's nostalgic. And the storytelling was there. I don't know if you've seen Wicked City before.
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, that's an oldie but a goodie. If you get a chance, you should check that out.
You said Wicked City?
Wicked City, yeah. It's very adult.
Got you. Well, what's a classic one? What's some more classic ones that you would recommend? That you think I would like? I think you see my taste. You my taste.
Yeah, you know what? I couldn't even do that, Keenan, because everything that you shit on animation, I be like, God damn.
What did I shit on?
You should. Well, Cowboy Bebop. You didn't like that?
No, I didn't shit on Cowboy Bebop. I was like, once I started to get some of the depth of it, I was just like,
that's true.
It's cool. I don't hate Cowboy Bebop at all.
Okay.
I think it's cool.
You didn't like Gangster?
Gangster was trash. So
God damn it!
You ain't convincing me.
I was like, I love that shit.
And it has potential. I feel like maybe the manga is probably dope. But like, yeah, I gotta be careful letting people overhype things to me too, because I go in there now with these type of eyes, and I'm just like, it's not as good. But ain't nobody think Gangster was dope but you, yo. So.
Oh man. Okay, this time I'm gonna do it so I don't overhype it. I'm just gonna have to slide it in a DM and be like, you need to watch Death Parade. That's all I'm gonna say, and then back out.
But like when you get a chance, just take a look at this. Because my thing is, what I normally do is I'll go watch like a clip or something. Like this is a lot of times when somebody recommends an anime to me. A lot of times the first thing I do is I type in that anime and fight scene.
Okay.
And then I'll look at a fight scene from that show, and if I see that shit looks trash, I bail out.
I'm gonna have to use that then. I never even thought about that.
Because a lot of times the fight scene determines how the anime is gonna be. So I'm like, all right. So when somebody sent me Kill la Kill, I was like, this shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Somebody's telling me about like Hunter x Hunter and Fullmetal Alchemist. I was like, all right, I gotta get up on this.
So do you only watch like fight genre? Do you watch like slice of life or any of that stuff? Horror?
I'll like, if you're gonna give me like one of those, it has to be. I don't know. I can't, like, the slice of life. I haven't really watched much of. I gotta be honest with you. Like, I'm more of an action type of anime dude.
Okay.
The first one, I guess, that was an action that I was like, I love was Death Note. So
yes.
I forgot how I fell upon Death Note, but when I got up on Death Note, I was like, this shit blew my mind. I was all in.
Yeah, because that was like a suspense. That was like a TV show. If you watch it so long and so hard, it wasn't even anime no more. It was like a TV show, like House or some shit. Like you had to figure it out.
Exactly. That's exactly how I felt watching that show. And so if you give me something that's like that good, or that's good to digest, I can watch. But it was just like, it's a show about like them just going to high school every day and having fun. I'm not watching that shit, man. I'm not watching that bullshit. I understand that that has a genre too, but I'm not doing that, man. I'm not about to watch these cartoon characters just go to high school and be like, man, high school's tough. I can't get a girlfriend. I'm 34, my nigga. Like, I'm done with that.
Yeah, man. Oh shoot. Okay, so this is what had me cracking up. You said it multiple times, but I think you said it on the last show. Would you tell our listeners what a classic anime dad is?
A deadbeat, man. A goddamn deadbeat. They don't. For some reason, they don't want to take care of their. I don't know why anime does this, but I don't know if this is like in their culture where like the dad is kind of like assholes. Like, I'm guessing maybe in like the shonen type of style, like the kids that grow up, their parents or their dad is an asshole and the mom's a nice one. But from Hunter x Hunter to fucking My Hero Academia to Dragon Ball to all of this stuff, like, why they gotta be deadbeats for it?
You know what I think it is, and it's coming from like you said, a cultural thing. And I haven't talked to many Japanese, but I've read some things, I've listened to some podcasts, and I think that stems from Japanese businessmen. So they all about their job. Your job come first, maybe family second, but your job is number one. So dads is always away. So I think that's the way kids, these now adults that used to be kids, are lashing out. My father was never there because he was working and trying to, give me a home, but I needed his love.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to start to put together too. But it's like Endeavor, he's terrible. Endeavor is a horrible dad. My Hero, he's horrible.
Yeah, he's there, but he horrible as fuck.
Yeah, you out here smacking moms up, so they can. So we gotta get our son. Like, you tripping, bro? Or or the dad from fucking Full Metal Alchemist that turned
murdered his baby. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty trash. You know what I think about that, like in the black culture, like does that, on some level subliminally, does that speak to us? Like, yeah, my daddy wasn't shit neither.
You know what's funny? Like, I've had issues. At the end of the day, I was raised by my dad. Right?
Yeah,
I was raised by my dad. He was there for me. But we had a lot of tough times. But I can see how that might, for people that might not have had their father growing up, that how in the black community, how that might, because I feel like there's certain things why black people connect to anime, and
yeah.
I think that might be one small reason why.
Yep.
But I definitely think that's in there too. Is that kind of father connection with the kids? Like the dad's not there, maybe, where the dad was tough on the kid. That tough upbringing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't nobody care you had your daddy, Keenan. Shit.
You fatherless motherfuckers out here being like, oh, you think you better than me, huh?
Yeah. That's what I tell my daughter. Me and my sister was laughing. We was like, don't nobody care you got your daddy. You know your daddy. Like, you out here living good and shit. You living in the house with your father. I'm like, I gave you this life. I'll take it away.
Yeah, I'll take out and all that shit.
Yeah.
That is horrible.
Oh, man. But let me see. What do I want to ask you? Oh, yeah. So I know y'all pull Dragon Ball out so much. But what are your top 3 anime? Of all time. It ain't got to be new.
I go back and forth to no order. And I think I did my list.
Uh-huh.
I think I did my list. But I would say Dragon Ball Z for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Full Metal Alchemist, man. When I watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah.
When I watched that changed like everything for me.
Yeah.
Like Dragon Ball Z was my number one for until then. And I didn't watch Full Metal Alchemist until like 2011. I forgot when it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was. I caught on to it late.
Okay.
So that changed the game for me. And number 3, I feel like I go back and forth. I love Hunter x Hunter. I love My Hero Academia. Demon Slayer is if Demon Slayer follows the manga, that shit has the potential to be number 1.
Okay, because I never read the manga.
I'm all the way caught up, and they're towards on possibly finishing up right now.
Okay.
Where it's at. Yo.
I don't mind spoilers, but you ain't got to tell me here. You can DM me.
we can get off air and talk about that. But yeah, it's getting wild. So the number 3 spot right now is I would probably have I'm going back and forth between My Hero and Hunter x Hunter right now.
Yeah, Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, that's the shit.
Yeah, same thing with Hunter. Hunter changed me too. Like when I first got into it, I felt like it was a little bit slow, but I felt like I fell for Killua. I was like, this dude he's a monster. And then
it almost missed me because I thought it was a kid's anime when I started. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like some Digimon?
Yeah. And I mean, I love Pokemon growing up, but I feel like I grew out of Pokemon and Digimon too. Like, I was like, I can't. Like it felt too kiddish.
Yeah.
But once Killua murdered that dude and took his heart out, I was like, this ain't no kid shit. Yeah,
it was pretty grimy. He was grimy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, those are animes that I enjoy. Those are animes that I go back and I go online and watch clips of and stuff like that. I'm not big on I haven't watched Naruto, so I don't ever knock it. Like I know Brennan and Ice go back and forth with that. But I see why Naruto. I've seen certain things in Naruto, and I'm just like, I get why this is a top anime to people. So I would never. I'm not like Brennan, where I'm like, this shit is trash. Like I know it's not trash. Now, is it full of a bunch of filler? Sure.
Yes.
But I can't sit there and call it trash. No way.
Yeah, no, it's been on TV way too long, and popular. I don't know, popular ideas don't always, mean it's good. Like you said, gangster, but
that was popular though.
I'm thought it was popular, but I guess your listeners in the group was like, "Nah, we're not feeling this."
Mm.
I'll let it go. I'll let it go. You hurt my feelings. I'm over it.
So I mean, even Kuroko no Basket, people was loving y'all. Picked that
I
shit,
don't
man.
like sports anime at all. I like the boxing. What was the one that just came out? Megalobox. I like that, but I don't like sports anime.
Megalobox was good. Megalobox was really good.
Yeah.
And I heard No Ippo, whatever it's called. I heard that's really good.
Oh yeah. I haven't watched
I heard
that.
that's pretty good too. But yeah, that Kuroko no Basket, I would never forgive y'all for that shit.
It ain't y'all. You never saw me say anything in the group chat. I'm like, yeah, I don't do sports. I don't do sports.
That got massive votes, yo. That was crazy.
I didn't vote for that shit. You could have kept that. I listened to the episodes because I like to hear y'all go back and forth about it, but I did not watch along with this shit.
Man, you didn't have to. I'm glad you didn't, because that shit was brutal. 3-pointer.
Every time you say that, I die.
That shit is just
3-pointer. Oh man. But while you guys are doing the podcast and everything, do you think eventually y'all would probably like go to some of the conventions and set up shop?
Yeah, that's the goal. I think I know Ice is he's real big on trying to get us into the conventions, but I know too I know when I talked to Brennan about it, we want to make sure we go there with a purpose. We don't want to just go there just to go there.
Yeah, because I know a lot of podcasts go, like geek podcasts go, and they like set up, their mics and everything, and they do shows from the convention.
We want to go there and people actually want to see us. You know what I'm saying? People come up to us and we're actually having a discussion with the people. You know what I'm saying? I think Ice wants to kind of get us, because Ice has a connection in Arizona or something like that.
Okay.
So he wants to do there's like an Arizona one or something.
Okay.
I think there's one. Is there one in Texas too or something?
Oh yeah, we got a huge one. We have two, but then we have Comic-Con that comes here. So it's the Dallas Comic-Con, yeah.
And I thought I forgot the cast from RDC World. Or they do their own little con out there one time?
We have Fan Days. So
okay.
Yeah, that's the second biggest one.
So I mean, yeah. So the goal is definitely to get to those. We just wanted to build. From I know for me, I was like, before I wanted to jump into that, I wanted to build a little bit more popularity, and our numbers are growing. On YouTube, it doesn't seem that big, but on the podcast platforms, we're doing a couple thousand an episode. So it's like, all right, once we get to like a little bit more than that an episode, like I would love to get to 10,000 an episode. That'll make sense. That for me right there is all right. Let's go there. I feel like we'll have a strong connection when we hit these cons, and people will like. We can rock with people and we can like build the brand bigger. Okay. So that's the goal for sure, is to get to those cons.
Yeah, I think that would be amazing because y'all are hilarious as fuck. Because I've listened to other anime podcasts and it's kind of dry, but y'all have all that interaction with each other and it go way off script sometime. But I be literally crying in my car. It's great.
And that's what I wanted. I didn't want to be like the other anime podcasts where I felt like, because I felt the same way. I felt like a lot of times we stick to the content, and sometimes I have fun pulling Rob off the content, because Rob is he's so concise with like how he delivers the material. I like just sometimes pulling away from that on purpose. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he's caught on to it by now.
But he's not dry to me. I like his speaking voice.
Rob is not dry at all. Rob goes ham too. He'd be like, "No, fuck that."
Yeah. Too. But I'm gonna tell you, I got a voice crush on Rob. So go ahead, proceed.
No, I understand. Rob has like a great radio voice.
Yeah.
I always feel like. I mean, me personally, I hate my own voice on microphones.
No.
People are like, "No, you have a great voice." People are like, but you know how when you hear your own voice so much, you're like, "That's how I sound."
Yeah. Yes, but I was like, Rob can read me the telephone book.
Yeah. But like, yeah. So like, but I love like, because Rob, pretty much what he kind of does is like that's what his thing is to kind of like push us through the storyline, and we pull shit off here and there, which is like fun. But that's what I wanted our anime podcast to kind of be like. I didn't want it to be, this super dry and just like like we feel like we know it all. Like I hate watching or listening to things that people think that they know it all, because you don't. Like it's like, and we don't for sure. Like we're gonna mess up these names. We're not gonna say things correctly. We're gonna miss some facts here and there, but we also don't act like we're the end all be all of this shit either.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I feel like Brennan's probably the only anal one about that. Like he might feel like he's the top guy, but you know, besides that, I think we all understand. Like, all right, yo, there's some things we're strong at. Like, I think Ice is probably like, I'm confident in Naruto. You're not gonna probably outdo me with that. Like, he probably feels confident going head to head with any fan about that, because that's what he's studied pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, I probably feel that strong with like a Full Metal now, and maybe like a certain aspects of Dragon Ball Z. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And you know, and I think I forgot what Rob's strong ones are, but like it's like,
I thought his was Star Wars.
Well, yeah, he's a big Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna outdo Rob in Star Wars. He's gonna be like, no, this actually happened here. Like he's gonna be like, all right, man, my bad.
Yeah. But besides anime, what else do you geek out on? Like, are you into comic books, you know, et cetera, et cetera?
I mean, now I'm getting deeper into manga now.
Okay.
I was huge into comic book cards and into comic book growing up. Like, my dad used to like we used to buy boxes of like cards growing up.
Okay.
So that's what my dad used to. I used to have like booklets of like Marvel stuff, like of X-Men and like stuff like that growing up. But I mean, you can be a geek in sports too. Like I feel like I'm a sports geek. Like I guess I geek out now. It's not on the cartoon aspect. It's all sports. Like I love basketball.
Okay. Yeah, no.
So like,
you lost me.
Yeah, you're like, all right, I don't know about that. So like, basketball is like I look at everything. Like I'm in it because you know. I guess you would be considered a geek if you do fantasy basketball, fantasy football, right? So I'm a fantasy basketball player. Like I love fantasy basketball. So that's like another thing that I geek out over. That's not, I guess, anime.
Okay. Yeah, you lost me. Interview's over.
Interview done, and that's
it's like I get enough of that shit with my husband. Him and his damn sports. Fuck that. Nah, but okay. So now I want to get into some lightning round questions. You down for that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So what's something people seem to misunderstand about you?
That I guess sometimes my look is too serious.
Man, yes.
You do look serious. That too?
Yeah, you look hella serious.
Nah, you know what's funny? I actually grew up a smiley kid too. I think I just transitioned into like sometimes this angry look. Uh-huh. But I'm very approachable. I probably be like, oh damn it again, somebody's approaching me. But I'm not like, I don't hate people. I'm not one of the people that like, oh, I hate people and I hate being around people. Like that's so dumbass up there.
Yeah. Like, no, it's just like I guess that's your face. You know when they say that's just my face. Your face look like back the fuck up. But then you have like the best smile ever.
Thank you. I think what it is too, I'm thinking a lot. Like I'm trying to work on that in therapy too. But I've been through so many different things and a lot of trauma that I might be thinking about something in the past. Or might be having. Sometimes I'm thinking about Dragon Ball Z fight scenes in my head. So I'm like, in my head, I might be looking angry. I mean, my face might be looking angry because I'm in my head doing this whole fight scene. Like, yeah, da 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 da.
Like, how the fuck did Yamcha die like that?
Yeah, exactly. Or like I've been having this anime idea for the longest that I want to create. Uh-huh. So I'll be thinking of just different scenarios of how I want to put together. So my face might show anger because I'm like when I think like the characters. So if the character is angry that I'm thinking about, I'm gonna probably be angry in my face. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or you're trying to break through an idea. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So how would the world change if superheroes and supervillains actually existed?
Ooh, you know what? I just finished watching The Boys. Like
my nigga, yes.
Not too long ago, and I don't know, man. I don't know what this will be. This will be a good idea.
Yes, it would not. Because I go back to therapy. We are already fucked up. Then you give us power?
Oh, come on, bro.
Oh, you hurt my feelings when we was in kindergarten. I'm finna laser beam your ass.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of random, quote unquote, random deaths. Nah, bro, I don't know. And then you gotta add the Keenan conspiracy theory coming in. You gotta add the government trying to take over shit, trying to create these different type of things.
Yeah.
Nah, man, it's just not gonna be a good look.
Armies, it's just nah.
Nah, not at all.
We don't have enough self-control being basic ass. That's why aliens won't come. Because it's like them niggas on some other shit. They not ready for us yet.
Exactly. You can't even be basic ass people and get this shit right.
I get it right. Exactly.
Give us powers? Nah.
Nah. Let's see. What's the most ridiculous argument you've ever had?
Too many, man.
The one with ice?
Yeah, a lot of arguments with him is because, like I said, his logic doesn't make any sense. So any argument that I've and that's why I don't really argue with him anymore, really. But like even in the group chat recently, like I was just like, this is not even a roast or an argument. I'm not what?
Yeah, but that's why I put the GIF up. I'ma head out.
Yeah, everybody was just like, what's happening right now? But like I don't. And he pretty much a lot of arguments with him on the podcast. And him and I, we speak off the record a lot.
Yeah.
And we have good conversations. So I know it's not him being like that type of person. That's why I'll be like, oh, he's doing it for the podcast.
Oh yeah, no, and I love it. It's entertaining as fuck. And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet because when they don't click the record button, they'll be like, oh nigga, let's go get some Starbucks.
Yeah, it's like so it's like because once he throws all logic out the window in his arguments,
and that's what I be saying in the car, like, no baby, that's what I be in the car, like, calm down and listen, go get your Starbucks.
That's when I feel like, all right, this is where age shows. Like you can be like, oh, you're 34. It's like, well, also 34 shows maturity, nigga. I don't care. I'm not one of the people that are afraid of getting older. I don't care.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm still look young, so it's not gonna matter to me. But it's like, the older you get, the more just logic you start to get. And I think when he's making some of these arguments, I'm like, all right, bro, only thing that's going to happen is we're just going to talk in circles, and then it's just going to go nowhere. So why even argue anymore?
Yeah. But don't stop doing it because it's entertaining to me.
I let him and Brennan do it now.
Yes.
Because Brennan likes to, sometimes Brennan just likes to be like, well, fuck it, today's the day, let's just do this.
I know, and Brendan's so petty. I love it.
Brendan's one of the most pettiest people I ever met in my life.
He king petty.
And he doesn't have a filter. So he's gonna, like, Brendan will say some stuff that's like, you be like, all right, damn, bro, like shit.
And he said like the professor. I'm like, that hurts even worse. Don't use correct pronunciation and diss my ass at the same time.
He gonna dish you and he gonna fix his glasses at the same time. Like, put his glasses back on his head. Like, okay,
Exactly. Okay, so console gaming or PC gaming?
Console now. I used to be a big PC guy. I grew up PC only.
Okay. Yeah, and it's made, consoles have made a whole bunch of advancements with, downloading. You don't always have to go out and buy them fucking disc. Just download this shit.
I was a big PC guy at one point, but now consoles.
Yeah. If you could create any one reality TV show, and it's guaranteed to air, what would your show be?
Ooh, shit. It would be a show about highlighting black-owned businesses.
Oh, that would be good. That would be very hot.
Because I want black-owned businesses to finally fully shine everywhere, and we honestly, I'm all about black economics too. It's like we need to establish ourselves independently, black in a black financial standpoint. We need to get that done.
Oh yeah, because the numbers are there, and something I find like fascinating. I don't know if you guys, it's Target. Fuck, they everywhere. But it's the commercial about the black-owned business owner for Honey Pot. It's like women's hygiene products. I did not know she was black. I've been following her on Instagram forever. The commercials came out. I saw she was black. And my homegirl was like, yeah, them shits is sold out at all the Targets. I'm like, that's black power. That's black dollars right there.
Here's the thing. It's like people will be like, we don't support. We do, but we just need to support more consistently. Because when we do, like that happens, it's a sellout. It's gone.
Yeah, she was like, go up to Target now. You won't find none of that shit. I was like, I should have been buying before I knew. I was like, oh, this seemed like a nice product. And then they told me it was a black woman. I was like, I just want to buy it because she's black.
Exactly.
I don't care if I don't never use this shit. I just want her to be great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Would you prefer a rich friend or a loyal friend?
Ooh. So the rich friend is not a loyal person? So what is he, like a liar or something?
Yeah, he probably like aloof. He just, he like to have good times. He leave you in fucking other countries. Don't worry about it, Keenan. I'll send a jet for you. Like, nigga, you just don't leave me.
That's tough because a friend with money, it depends, like, if how I'm looking at that. Because I'm looking at it from a standpoint of investing. That's where my brain went with the rich friend.
But if you're an asshole and he not loyal, he may stiff you on some of these investments.
Exactly. So that's why I'm trying to determine. I'll probably take loyalty because I think I'd probably take loyalty over.
Yeah, because I see you and the guys like that. Y'all seem loyal to each other, and it could turn into a great future investment. Mm-hmm. You already got that basis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be, letting these good people go for money. God damn, Keenan.
No, I'm not saying I will. I'm just saying, like I said, you gotta give me the basis of the rich guy. If he's 100% like a disloyal motherfucker, then no, because I can't use him for an investment.
Yeah,
he won't. Yeah.
Steal your fucking ideas. Okay. Let me say this: if you could step into my shoes, what would be a question you would ask yourself that I didn't?
I don't know. I feel like you covered a lot, yo.
Yeah, man. I've been wanting to talk to you a long time.
Yeah, you had questions that I wasn't prepared for. So.
Oh, shit. Okay, what about this one? When you gonna get married? I didn't ask you that before.
When am I gonna get married?
Yeah.
While my girl's in the other room right now.
Set up. She called me before.
There's no time frame really. It's really about just being in a place where we can financially do it correctly.
Yeah.
When I make that proposal and stuff like that, I want to make it to where, all right, we're doing decent in our careers enough to where we can have we have our own spot now, but like have a better spot that's our own. And I know finances is something you're going to always worry about when you're married regardless, but I just want to be in a better financial state. Right now I feel like we're both like, we're still juggling for position in our craft. Okay,
yeah, but I'm gonna give you some words of wisdom. If you're waiting financially, it'll never be a good time. Whether it's marriage, babies,
that's what I always hear. Yeah? I always hear that. But it's my thing is it's like I want to be a little bit more stable. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, you already got half the equation done. You got somebody by your side. That's the majority of the work.
It's not about not marrying her. I'm going to marry. Yeah. Like this woman that I'm with now. It's like I see marriage. It's not about like I don't know. It's like she's held me down. She's looked out for me so much. So it's not that. It's just about both of us being kind of feeling that same way about like being a little bit more stable. Then we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's cool. I just I'm in love with black love. I just want everybody else to be in love. It's like grow our numbers. Grow these black numbers out here.
Yes.
Okay, but last question. Where can our listeners connect with you online?
You can hit me on any social media, Twitter, Instagram, at Keenan Baker, Keenan Baker, Baker. I think Twitter is Keenan_Baker. Facebook fan page. Hit my Facebook fan page. I'll be updating that more and more often. That's where we get monetized at. Like, follow my YouTube and my Facebook fan page a lot too, because that's where the money comes from. Instagram don't pay you shit unless you're getting a sponsorship.
Yeah.
But Facebook pays you some good goddamn money once you get monetized.
Yeah.
So follow me on there.
It was good having you. I'm glad I finally got to talk to you. I'm like your Insta groupie. I be like, this nigga's out here making moves. I'm so proud of him.
Man, I'm just trying, just like you, man. Every single time we just try to make take the next step.
It's just crazy because I'm like, we got a little bit of an age gap, but I'm like, I can connect with this brother. He's smart, he's funny, he's young spirit. I'm just, just watching everything you're doing.
Thank you. And don't trust me. I get motivation from everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't compare, but I can still appreciate what somebody else is doing, and that's including you. You know what I'm saying? You're doing something in this world that's different than what anybody else is doing. You have your own way of doing it, your own view, your own lens.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to, not do that comparison thing you was talking about, because there's a lot of other sisters out here doing it. I mean, they doing it damn well.
Your voice is your voice only.
Yeah.
You have a unique voice. No, that's it.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, it was good talking to you. Hope to have you on again in the future.
Oh, absolutely. Just let me know.
All right.
All right. See you later.
All right, my nerds, geeks, blurs, and freaks. That's my time. Call me anytime on the G&G hotline at 972-664-4886. I want to hear your thoughts, ideas, comments, and suggestions. Whatever you like. And also, I'd like to play some of your voicemails on air if you request me to. All I need is your name and your social handle. If you'd like me to call you, leave me your number also. And remember, I'm offering free advertising to all small business owners the entire month of April. I'm also still looking for music artists to showcase during the Artist Spotlight segment. Basically nerdcore, beat producers, singers, etc. So go ahead and follow and subscribe everywhere on Facebook and Instagram at Gadgets and Geekery. On Twitter, it's Gadgets Geekery. And you can also go over to the website at gadgetsandgeekery.com. There are also Gadgets and Geekery t-shirts over on the site and more to come. All right then, y'all. So I'll see you next time.